am spectacularly stressed out today. Med school hit me hard as hell coming in. I came home and cried. I've been waking up every day this week pretty stressed out, and I'm just feeling kind of depressed. I left my happy place, my home, my absolute safe space to go to a town smaller than I've ever been in my entire life. I was lonely, I was homesick, and I wasn't adjusting as quickly as I usually do to situations. I was plagued with fear of failure, and instead of basking in the congratulations of my loved ones, it just felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. People even suggested that I medicate. And I'm honestly feeling so depressed. When people ask me how I was doing, I would tell them I was not doing well. Everyone who's asked me like, how you doing? I was like, not good. I cried from negative emotions often, and I just felt super unlike myself. For sure not like feeling like myself, so we're just gonna keep doing our best. And I'm gonna stop talking about it now because I'm gonna cry again. I stopped calling my parents, I grew apart from those that were closest to me, and I was just riddled with anxiety. Super stressed out, clearly. Right when I got to a place in my first module where I felt like I was confident in the way I was studying and like absorbing information, I was hit with another wave of drama. I feel like my personal stuff is definitely affecting me a little bit. I got an infection and got even more sick off the medication that I was prescribed for that infection. Then after that, my long-term boyfriend decided to break up with me. I don't feel like doing anything. And my family received major life-changing news that I could do nothing about because I was in the middle of nowhere in med school, just far away from everything. And all this just days before a final exam in a module that I'd never particularly felt like solid in or knew what I was doing in the first place. No quiz is worth the way I'm feeling, so I'm going to take care of myself and I'm gonna stop talking to you now because I cannot keep crying. I was so taken over with negative emotions that I could hardly leave my bed. I went upstairs, got in bed, and cried for a little bit. It felt like everyone around me was thriving, and I literally felt like I was dying. Cry if I want to cry, maybe watch TV. But I knew that was a turning point for me, and I could either succumb to the BS or boss up. So I leaned on those around me, studied as hard as I could, cried whenever I felt like it, and passed my first module on first attempt. After getting through all of that and succeeding, my anxiety had gone down significantly. In fact, I honestly think my anxiety is less now more than it ever has been in my entire life. I feel confident in my ability to learn, and while I still have a lot to grow in like test-taking strategies, I don't have testing anxiety anymore. And I think this is why my second module of med school went so smoothly. I performed better out the gates, and even though I didn't pass every single quiz, I just felt so much more confident and comfortable learning and stuff like that. I also really liked anatomy, which helped me clock the hours that I needed to be able to study enough to pass all my practicals. I definitely still suffer with a tremendous amount of self-doubt, which isn't necessarily a horrible thing because I think it serves as a bit of a safeguard in ensuring that I don't turn into someone who thinks they're a total genius, and also can kind of be a sort of spot of intentional self-growth in the new year, just to kind of work on becoming more confident and comfortable in what I know and what I can accomplish. And in similar end of module fashion, I got extremely ill the week before final exams. I physically could not study for 2 days, like the week before my finals, which is pretty much 2 weeks of undergrad content. And going into the final, like prior to getting sick, I was chilling. I was like cruising by, I was super confident like in what I knew, and I was like just gonna coast through. But then after getting hit with the worst flu of my existence and dying alone in bed for 2 whole days, I was pretty stressed out. I was less stressed than I was in foundations, my first module, but definitely significantly more stressed than I had been in the entire module so far. And it was both validating and terrifying that all my friends were like, oof, bro, worst time to get sick, like the week before finals, oof. But I'm stubborn and an actual workaholic, so I went in for my OSCE 24 hours after my fever broke and passed. Then I studied my butt off for my anatomy practical all weekend long, took that, and then studied my butt off the rest of the week for my final exams, took that. And thankfully all my hard work paid off, and I passed that module on first attempt as well. Then after my exam, I had a really beautiful afternoon skating around with my friends and just decompressing after all the dust had settled. Super unfortunately though, is that my stupid hard drive, it broke with my very, very beautiful, carefully crafted final exam in med school video on it. So even though I worked really hard on it and was really, really excited to share it with you guys, it is lost, probably forever. And I'm now ending 2022 with my worst upload streak since starting med school. So as unfortunate as this situation this situation is. I could not have gotten through this semester without the support of my family, friends, and loved ones. Days before my final exam, I totally had a breakdown in front of my friend in my car, and he just totally like guru guided me through finals week. As I was telling myself that I couldn't, he was telling me that I would, and after a little while, I started to believe it. I also have a bomb-ass group of friends that are always down to study with me and provide me comedic relief, which is super necessary during finals week, especially with all the other stressful stuff. And of course, nothing beats my parents boosting me on the phone for 10 minutes before I have to tell them I gotta go to study. But just getting those 10 minutes in of pure pride and joy feeds the soul, so thank you. All in all, while med school has been one of the most chaotic and hectic experiences of my life, I'm grateful for all that it's taught me about medicine and about myself. The chaotic energy of med school has given me something to hang my anxiety on and just allowed me to be more focused on other more important things. It's introduced me to tons of people who share the same life purpose as me and has really taught me that I'm truly capable of anything. Being a med student has also allowed me to grow this platform in ways that I never would have imagined possible. It's connected me with so many genuine and kind people across the globe. It's even allowed me to play a small role in inspiring others to pursue careers in STEM, whether that be benchtop research in neuroscience or pursuing a medical degree. It's also introduced me to someone so talented and so kind, and someone that I'm so grateful that I get to call my friend. So, in ode to my deceased upload schedule, I want you to come to Colombia with me. Let's go.
Hey lady, listen to me. She's most beautiful, Angelina Jolie. Hey lady, welcome to the